welcome to Fishing with CJ out on the boat. This is a video compilation of 2 days out. First day with Steve Kerr, second day with Woody, and well, can't say that I've caught a great deal, but I did put them both on the fish, so so I have to take some credit. We're just coming in at the end of the second day. Let's see how we got on. I think you can probably see behind me, the sea is lovely. It's really flat calm. There's a real window in the weather, and the forecast was actually held true for about a week now, saying that today was going to be a good day, and it's turned out that it is. There's a fair amount of tide running today, but we are challenging ourselves because we're anchored into a small wreck, which I have on good authority contains quite a few conger eels. So hopefully we've got it lined up right. My second attempt, first attempt went wrong, but second one was pretty good. And we just got some baits down. We have struggled to get some fresh mackerel, however. We've caught one so far. Of course, Steve caught one, and he very kindly has donated it to me. So I've got that down, flapped up as bait. Yeah, so here we are. I don't know what time it is. I've got no clue. What time is it?
Yeah. I'll tell you in a minute.
I've got to get my phone out, I should tell you. Right, it's 10 past 10. So we've got about 2 hours of tide to run. So it should start slackening off now, which is quite good. Which will improve the fishing, I think. Yeah. Catch you when something happens. I've got one rod out fishing on the bottom for conger eels at the moment, and I've got the other rod set up with mackerel feathers, which is just sitting in the tide on the off chance that some come passing through and pick them up on the way through. Because the tide's running so fast, the actually line for the mackerel feathers is going off at that angle. But yeah, beautiful day. Beautiful day. Something happening there, but it just might be the lid bouncing around. I'll leave that to develop. What they say, as soon as you get the first top, you should sit down and smoke a cigarette before you do anything more, as I don't smoke. Right.
Yeah, I've got a fish.
Good fish.
Yeah.
A bit hard to tell when the tide's this strong, isn't it?
Yeah, the amount of lead. Don't put anything else, it's
No. Dogfish.
Oh no. Quite shout doggy. Nope, missed it.
Hmm?
Missed it. Good old boat in a squid though.
No, nothing there.
No, missed it.
What bait was that on?
Cuttlefish.
All right.
Lug.
Okay.
But whole lug and a cuttlefish.
Oh well. Bit of motion in the ocean, bit of activity on this rod. I put the camera on, and guess what? No, still going, still going, still going, still going.
Still having a go.
Yeah, it's still going.
What you got to do, light a cigarette.
You like to smoke a cigarette? That's a proper conger bite where we're just getting little tiny rattles and taps. Wait for the big one. Of course, it could also be a dogfish. Or a whole pack of dogfish ragging at the bait. And going again. There it goes again. Oh, that looks more like it. That looks more like the bite. Yeah.
You got it?
Yeah. There's something there. Oh, there's something there. Do us a favour, Steve.
Yeah,
Couldn't bring this other rod in.
Yeah.
If it is an eel, it ain't a big one. Stop banging now, actually. Oh. Ooh, still there. I think it's a little scrapperoonie. Decent colour in it. Yeah, it just come off. I think I just lost it. Yeah, it's gone, I think. Yeah, it is gone. There we go.
Yeah. Got one this time.
Have you?
Yeah.
Is that on the cuttlefish and worm again?
Yeah. I think it's a nice bream.
Maybe.
Actually, there's not much of. Oh, there's a bit of a bite there, but with a pound of lead, it's a bit difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, but normally they give you like a tug and then you don't do anything for a bit and then they give you another rattly tug, and whereas pouting, they give you all the tugs at the bottom and then they blow out.
And this is still giving rattles.
Oh, right, okay. Nice bream then. Be nice.
It might be. Might be a brown bream.
A brown bream, yeah. Brown boil bait bream, you mean?
Nice little pull then. Yeah, it is.
It's a bream. Nice little bream.
Tiny little thing.
Nice bream. You show it for the camera when you get out. Oh, look at that. Beautiful fish, aren't they?
Yeah, they're lovely, but too small to take home.
A gurnard. Oh, nice, beautiful. Show it to the camera. Oh.
Nice little gurnard. Yeah.
On a crab bait. It's not fighting hard.
Got it? Got something on there then?
Well, it's heavy. It's not tugging. There was a rattling bite.
It might be a rat.
Yeah, but they normally fight. Well, that little tug then. It's a little tug. I have had pouting on crab, mind you.
Oh, have you?
Yeah. Oh, and again.
How much lead you got on there?
About 8 ounces.
Alright, not too much then.
No. Might be bringing the live bait out. It might be the live bait that's rattling. There's a fish coming out. It's a pouting!
Oh yeah. Nice bit of bait.
To be fair, I haven't had one of these for ages actually, a pouting.
Oh,
Sorry?
no.
We'll put it in the bait bucket, as you say. Sometimes they do good bait. Oh, the crab is still alive, it just nipped me. Let's put this crab back down. Take all the spins out. One thing pouting do is they spin up the line. Well, that's the first fish I've had all day, apart from mackerel. So the skunk is out of the boat, but I do not dance for a pouting. You'll be pleased to know. It proves the bait is down where it needs to be, and we want a wrasse, is what we want.
All the birds are expectant. That might be the biggest fish today.
Dogfish then.
Well, I don't think it's a big fish.
Your other rod's going. What's going on?
Bream, I think. It's all bream. Might have the other rod actually. Shouldn't be.
It was definitely a bite rather than something coming up the line.
It's
It's a big pouting. And you've got a big pouting bite on the other one. Big granddaddy pouting. Well, we're definitely near the wreck then.
Do you want it as bait?
No, no, no. They're too big for bait, really, to be honest. Well, Steve's on fire, and I'm a damp squib.
Hardly.
Still going.
Yeah.
What bait you got on there?
A joey mackerel.
Oh right. What, whole flappers or?
No, just you cut the fillet off,
All right.
and I'll just put the rest on.
Oh, okay. The wreck is starting to feed now anyway, so that's a sign.
So what?
Well, the fish are starting to feed, aren't they?
Yeah. Fresh bait.
Oh, nice man. Very good. He's got another little baby bream. Right. This looks interesting. You're pouting. This is only a small joey on there. Oh, I don't know though. Oh, no, solid.
Oh, maybe Conger.
Maybe. My groin protector gone. Find me groin protector.
Yeah?
Yeah, definitely solid. Definitely, oh, definitely solid. Let's not lose this one, eh? It's not a monster, is it? I definitely think it's a Conger. It's very spin. Oh. Fighting well. It might gap it.
Where's your gaff down this side?
Well, to be honest, it's only the handle's really short because I broke the end off it to use it for something down your side.
Should we just T-bar it?
Well, I want to try and get it on board the boat if I can.
Okay.
It's not big.
No, I'll just pull it up there.
We'll see how well hooked it is. I might be able to just put it over. I might be able to solo it. If I can, I'll solo it.
Okay. Oh, very dead towards us.
That's the last thing we need.
Over there, look.
Yeah. No, the last thing I need, I have to move the boat because while I'm playing the fish. Yeah, this colour. It's an eel.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Little one, little strap.
Well, I'd say it's more than a scrap, but I think seagull, it might be a bit big for you. Oh yeah, it's only a strap. Only a strap.
Yeah. Very nice. Well done.
Well, target species achieved.
Oh no.
And boom, and cut. Oh. Now I've got to get the hook out.
Well, it looks pretty deeply hooked. T-bar might do it. Another pout step. That might be a brain. Another pout.
Hmm?
That one stands a good chance of going back.
Tony's Facebook group is getting bombarded by religious dog bogglers.
Yeah, it's that bloke that's hacked him.
It's the bloke or what?
He's hacked him.
Oh right.
And I looked at it the other day, but I'm not an administrator, and this bloke's made himself the administrator.
Oh, has he?
Yeah, I don't know how he's done it, but he's made himself the administrator, and he puts all sorts of rubbish on there. And Tony doesn't know how to do it, and he can't see properly anyway.
No. Well, we've given it a real good go on this wreck, both sides of the tide. We're going to go and drop the anchor on what's left of the ebb on another wreck, give that a go, and then when it gets to slack water, we'll go and find some other wrecks and drift them as the tide starts to pick up. We've got to fish sort of 2 hours past the bottom of the tide because I won't get back into the harbour otherwise. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to wind everything in, get the anchor in, and then go off to a wreck, the one I was on last week actually, and see if we get any more luck. Steve has the first pouting of the new location, but bait size.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would flap up nicely, wouldn't it? Right, I've got a couple of baits down. We're a lot closer to the wreck this time. The tide is still going quite fast. Oh, and I've got a little bite on my conger rod. If I put the camera on it, you know what will happen. I don't believe it. I have a bite. Every time I have a bite, if I put the camera on, it stops. There you go. That's definitely a bite. Ooh. Yes, that is definitely a bite.
What do you put on there? That Joey or something?
No, that's got that whole mackerel from the last thing. I think he's there. I think he's on. Oh yeah. He took me in the wreck. There's definitely a fish there. I'm going to bully him out of the wreck. Oh, woken up. Oh, that's a better fish. I can't find the groin protector. Oh, and I got a bite on my other rod. On my live bait rod. He's not fighting anymore. I'm probably bringing all the leads up. Oh no, he's going again. It's not a big eel. I've had eels where you just have to hang on to them.
I've got this thing.
Oh, I don't know, it might be better, but it's better than I've got. Better than nothing. I don't know if it'll fit. Oh no, it's not good. Sorry mate. No, that's all right. Cheers. Yeah, lovely. Cheers. Oh.
Good slip now.
So he can take line if he goes like that again. Here he is. Conger.
Excellent.
Again, not a monster, but
No.
bigger than the last one. Has he got another line wrap? He's got my other line wrapped around him, hasn't he? There's a line wrap.
Line.
Yeah, there's a line. Yeah, there's a line around him. Bigger than a strap. Not a monster, nonetheless. Angry eel. Oh, got a bit of unknitting to do, I think. And he's off. Woo.
Thanks, he says. Thanks.
Definitely need to practice before we get a big one.
Felt like it to start off with. That just goes like it felt.
Well, I don't know what happened then. I thought I was recording it, but I obviously wasn't. Steve just had a cracking bite, and it was a nice bream. Nice bream. Let's have a show it to the camera. Is that a nice bream? That's definitely going home for dinner. I lost gear, or I thought I'd lost gear, because there was an eel that took me into the wreck, and I've managed to hand line the culprit out. And away. So at least I got my gear back. Here comes the wake. Right, you might be able to see this, but you can see the swirling on the surface, and every so often a fin comes out of the water. It's actually sunfish, which is a huge, I mean, they're ocean going fish, they're everywhere. They live on jellyfish. There's a lot of jellyfish about. I think that seagull might be being optimistic. You know, like a big dustbin lid with fins, and they swim on their side with one fin out of the water. Looks like sometimes you see a fin, you think it's a shark, and it's not, it's a sunfish. Right, well, Steve's been getting bream on cuttlefish baits, so I thought I'd give it a go. But all I'm getting is, as soon as it hits the bottom, I'm getting a pouting on it, so I'm going to have another go. So all the way down, watch my rod tip as soon as it hits the bottom. Probably now I've got the camera on, it won't happen, hopefully. Boom, on the bottom, and a bite straight away. Would you believe it? Let's leave it down there for a bit, see what happens. See now. I know. I say that this wasn't the forecast at all. It'll be a bit red tomorrow.
Yeah.
Can I borrow your hat?
Yeah, of course you can.
Probably a bit late, but it's in here.
Just in the box, yeah.
Oh, shade. Excellent.
Bait rods.
Oh, I've got something on my conger rod, I think. Unless it's you coming fit. I don't think it is. Well, it's only a very small mackerel on there, so it could be pouting. Nice one. You're using booms. Is it an upper boom that you're getting them all on?
No, it's the first one on the upper
Right.
boom.
So it's near the bottom,
Yeah.
which is what I'm doing. Put a camera on, and we all know what happens. Straight away, it stops. Pouting rod's rattling and banging, but that's just a pouting. Now, if I saw bites like that on the conger rod, I'd be quite excited. Well, turn the camera off and it'll start again. Well, it's gone very slack now. The tide is almost dead. So we're winding our bait rods, and we're going to go and drift a couple of wrecks now. We've got an hour and a half, I guess, maybe an hour before we can get in. So we might as well use that time drifting a couple of wrecks, see if we can't pick something up. Maybe cut in close and see if the bass come up. Still kind of on our way back. But that's what we're going to do. So put camera on when it starts to happen. We're going to drift with lures. So look, it's showing all over it. Nice slow drift now because the tide is nearly slack. Ooh, look at that fish showing on there.
Yeah.
Hope it's not a big cloud of pouting.
Mm-hmm.
There's the lure, so I can feel me picking the lure up. So we've got the lure off the wreck. Open up a bit. What have we got? It's a bass.
Oh, nice.
It's a nice bass. Gamble on swinging at a board. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, well done.
He
nailed that, didn't he?
I had to be, no, he was very reluctant. He was very, hesitant to bite. Now, ordinarily we'd put him back, but he's got a barometric injury, so he's not going to survive. So we might as well take him home for tea. Cracking day. Not been a lot of fish, but Steve's had a lot of nice bream. I didn't catch a single bream. Weird, isn't it? And I was towards the end, I was doing the same as he was. But I had 3 eels, one of which I handballed in. Snagged me in the wreck and I snapped off, but I managed to recover the gear. Yeah. So, what a beautiful day though. What a beautiful day. On a day like today are a bonus. So it's getting late, we need to get back in before it gets dark. So put the pedal to the metal now and get us back in. Really drifting around trying to find some mackerel and failing miserably. We have got a couple, but that's all. It's virtually slack water now, so we've dropped the anchor. I've dropped the anchor down tide of the wreck, so that when the tide starts flowing, hopefully it will swing us around so that we're fishing into the wreck. We're wreck fishing today. Perhaps I didn't explain that. And I've got a tote bait down. I'm out here with Woody today.
Morning.
Hello, say hello, Woody.
Hello, Woody.
Hello, Woody. He's got a bream bait down. It's an interesting day. The forecast is it's going to be a little bit breezy, but it's not at the moment. It's not doing what the forecast is saying at all. So let's hope that they've got it wrong. We are going to be targeting conger eels today. That's the plan. Let's see, the world is our bivalve mollusk, as I keep saying. I've got a couple of conger rods with me today. Woody's got a conger rod as well. I've dug out my old Ziplex, which is looking a bit tired, but it's a good rod. I need to get it rebuilt really, but we'll have a look at that a bit later on. And yeah, fingers crossed we'll catch some more mackerel. Catch you when we catch something. Himself a cup of tea and instantly gets a bite. So I've not brought any tea with me today, so.
It's tiny.
Pouting. I mean, as I say, I took Steve out. He was catching bream all day. I didn't catch one.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it?
Yeah. But watch this boy, because we are drifting around a bit. Bit of former aggression going on out here. I think they're falling out. Stop doing it now. Put the camera on, of course. Great imponderables of the ocean, and this has happened to me three or four times in the last couple of trips out. Something keeps robbing my bait and replacing it with a rock. What's that about?
Isn't that a rockling?
A rockling is a rock salmon.
Rock salmon, yeah.
Ooh. Just the one. Just the one.
Just the one.
But one's better than none. It's a nice conger bait size. Ah! Slip it backwards and put the hook in the hand. All this time. Get him in the boat.
Brace.
Brace yourself. Knew we'd get some mackerel in the end. And some of those nice little baby joeys now.
Yeah.
Let's try and get this other bait down. I've been trying to get it down for about 5 minutes. Every time I start letting it down, I get mackerel on, so let's see if it happens again. No, it didn't happen that time. Woody's just caught the first pouting of the trip. But it's a nice bait size pouting, so maybe we'll put it in the bait bucket. Yeah, so let me show it to the camera. Here we go. A specimen PB. PB. Poxy pouting. It's a PP. Poxy pouting.
Dogfish.
No, It's a conger.
Is it?
Yeah, definitely. See that? Not. It could be pouting rag in it. Of course,
Yeah,
sometimes they're quite hard to tell the difference. But, right, let's wind into this and see if there's anything there. No, nothing there. Let's see the state of the bait. Oh, oh dearie me.
Dogfish?
No, look at that. That is one
Hungry pout.
over ambitious pouting, I feel. The hook is as big as its head. Had quite a lunging bite on this just now, but it's only a small bait. Nothing of any size on here. I can tug in. Probably the purge of the pouting. The rod that has actually got pouting on as bait has got a very suspiciously conger-like bite on it. Let's see if it develops. Or my theory that pouting don't eat pouting is now being proved wrong. Bait's still there. It's been noshed at though. Let's have a go at it. If I do hook into a big eel, it could end up an interesting may tree down there. This right hand rod, this is the one I put a cuttlefish head down on, and I was getting knocks and bangs on that as soon as it went down, which is pouting, I'm suspecting. It's not. I've not been seeing anything for a little while, so I'm guessing they might have ragged the bait away. So we're going to wind it in and see if there's anything on there. There's no eel asleep on the end of it, that's for sure. No, there's bait left. They haven't taken all of it. They've taken a lot of it, shall we say. So that was quite a big cuttlefish head, and it's just a little bit of cuttlefish now. We'll rehook that up and we'll put a cuttlefish flapper onto it. So we've got a cuttlefish envelope here. We'll cut that up into two, make two baits out of that at least, and see how we get on. And it's PB pouting, or it's a conger eel. Let's hope it's a conger eel.
If it's a pout, it's a world record.
Oh yeah, British line class record. That's good. The eels are feeding. That was on a whole pouting.
Yeah. I think it's a monster, but it's a start.
Want me to wind your other rod in?
Found the feathers on that one.
Oh, and me as well, I think. Or you just touched my line. Oh, you might be on my line, I don't know. No, you're clearing my line. I just had a rattle on that rod, which has also got a pouting on.
Got a fairly long leader on this, Chris.
Yeah.
Don't want to come in.
It's not a monster, is it? I mean, it's coming.
Here it is.
Oh yeah, colour in the water. Bit of colour. Do you want me to hand line it for you? It's actually a nice eel, that.
Yeah.
It's not bad, that. Not bad at all. Let's see if I can get that one for you.
On the other rod.
Amazing how powerfully they can swim backwards. the boat. Eel on the boat. First one of the day. There's so many. Oh, and he spat the hook. That's handy.
Yeah.
Handy herring. Oh, we've got mackerel on it as well. It's all happening. It's all happening. Fresh bait as well. Do you want to do this thing with him or put him back?
Chuck him back.
They are slippery, slimy, wriggly, hard to pick up creatures that don't want to be picked up. Find skills. There you go. Once you get your fingers into these gill flaps, you've got them. So let's put it back. Nice conger to Woody.
Yeah.
And away!
And 5 mackerel as well.
And 5 mackerel as well. All nice bait size ones as well. Yeah, get me my bait bucket. And fighting, and it's heavy. But I can't see any lines going slack. Oh, it's because it's in the bottom, and what's happening was the drag slipping.
In the bottom?
Yeah.
It's an eel that's got banked in.
Could be.
Gone back into the wreck.
Could be. But when that happens, you normally feel a nod, nod, nod.
Yeah, yeah.
But there's no nod there at all. I'll leave it under tension for a bit, just in case it is an eel.
Yeah, and swim out, you said.
Yeah, or sometimes it'll start nodding.
Yeah.
But I don't think it is. I think it's what I'm feeling is I'm feeling the lead lifting.
Yeah.
So I think it's probably the hook is in the wreck. But then that could be a fish on the end of that, does.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be a break it out with a piece of wood. Right, well, we'll leave it for a bit and see what happens. One of the things I've heard people say that they use sort of 80 or 90 pound braid when they're conger fishing. Great until you have to try and break it out, because you're not going to snap it out. The only way you're ever going to get it out is to either cut the line or attach it to the boat and try steaming up tide. If you try pulling that sort of strength braid out by hand, you will end up losing a finger, in my opinion. So what I tend to use, I've got a piece of wood, all right, I'll give myself a bit of slack, I wrap several winds around the wood, and then I use the wood to pull against the braid and see if I can force it out. I think I'm going to go to a snap. I'll end up snapping it, because I think what's happened is the hook is hooked into the wreck, and of course the hook is it's a Cox and Roll meat hook, so it's a very strong hook, and it's got 150 pound or 200 pound monofil on it, so it will be the line that snaps, which means I'll lose my gear. But you never know, I might get it out, it might straighten hook, or if there's something on there, or whatever it's hooked into, the wreck might break off. But that's what we're going to do. So I'll leave the camera running while I do that, so you can see how I do it, see if it works. What I don't use, I don't use gloves. Some people use gloves. My opinion on gloves is this stuff is like cheese wire. You wrap it around your hands in a glove thinking that you're safe. If the glove fails, again you'll lose a finger. It will just cut through your finger, cut through your flesh. And I've got the scars from that happening when I was a young lad, mackerel fishing off Padstow, got hooked into a lobster pot, got a wrap of what was the equivalent of braid in those days, which was kind of an orange braided line, wrapped around my hands, and then well, I was going over the back of the boat, it was quick thinking skipper, managed to run to the back of the boat and cut the line, but not before it had taken me down to the boat on 3 fingers. So I'm nervous of it, whatever happens. It might be coming up, actually. Good. Maybe it's swum out. Maybe it's swum out. Ooh. I'm out, I don't know. I think it has. There you go. So leave it under tension for a while. Give it a bit of slack, and you never know, it might just come out. And I think this has come out. It's coming up anyway. There's no fish on there. Right, so I didn't get to demonstrate my my breakout technique, but I've explained it to you. No doubt by the end of today we will have to do it. But yeah, most strange. That's come out.
Yeah.
The bait has gone, so there was something that's taken the bait and run underneath the wreck with it, I think. I wonder what state of the hook is. Yeah, the hook's got a few scratches on it. There's a bit of abrasion on this line, so I think it's probably been rubbing against the wreck, but yeah, it's come out. Happy days. Let's get a fresh bait on it, get it down. Put a bigger weight on it as well. Woody says he has a bite.
Put the camera on, it goes off.
Yeah, of course it does. Every time. There's a few laws that I'm discovering. A cup of tea and a sticky cake, you'll guarantee you'll catch fish. You'll get a bite. Make yourself a cup of tea, you get a bite. I discovered the other day, I'm going to sit down because I'm knackered, meant you've got a bite. And if you put the camera on, it all stops. And there's definitely nothing happening now.
Yeah, I will.
So I'll turn the camera off and maybe it'll rattle again.
He'll bend over it.
Yeah. Do you want it? Or
No, mate, you can have it as a live bait.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, you could have had it as a live bait. I ain't going fishing that anymore. That's stupid. 16 kilos of lead on the bottom.
Well, we had a bit of excitement. The anchor suddenly started to pull, so we had to lift the anchor on that wreck. So we've come out onto another wreck that we're going to drift for a bit until the tide starts to slacken down a bit. I mean, we've not been catching any fish for quite a while because I just think the tide's ripping through too fast. So we're going to have a few drifts on this wreck. There'll be fast drifts because the tide is ripping through, and then we will go and anchor up on another wreck on the other side of the tide and see what we can do. Yeah. There you go, Woody. There's your set of bass.
That'll do. That's my tea sorted.
I get an assist on that because mine wrapped up in it as well. It's a nice table-sized bass.
Yeah.
Little bream. Where are you? And you know, it's not been a very exciting day for me so far. It just goes to show, doesn't it? Yeah, it's a little bream. I think, is it a little bream? No, it's a scad. It's a cheeky scad. So, after however many hours, the skunk is out of the boat.
Okay.
He's very kindly lifting my bait. Ooh. That sounds like the you need to get a bigger boat noise.
Yeah, I know, I'm just going to put a bigger weight on now, it's kiting up.
Well, that's the end of another enjoyable day out at sea, but wasn't a particularly successful day out at sea, shall we say. But then that's fishing, it happens. The tides, it was a strong tide, made it very awkward to fish, what the style of fishing that we were trying to do. So we came in, dropped in on a wreck on the way back in, just to have a little drift about, see if we could catch anything on there. Nothing. And so we come in and call it an early day, which is actually nice, get an early finish. But you know, thanks for joining us. Hope you've enjoyed it. See you on the next one. Bye. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video of the 2 trips. We'll see you on the next trip. Catch you later. Bye.